Hey all, I wanted to come on here and share something because I think for me, emotional healing has been so impactful for me, especially the particular resources I've come across, because they've impacted also my relationship with God in different ways. And I've always been an empathic person, with compassion being one of my strengths. But the last few years, as I've gone through, such hardships and times of feeling like God was unsafe, maybe out to get me, and things like that, it really meant a lot to me to learn ways to have compassion modeled for me, because so much of my views of God and hard situations that surfaced for me were around kind of this view of God that I had built from my experiences with humans, thinking that God wanted me to just obey him, and he was like gonna put me through really hard things just to build my character or to test me, and I would miss his compassion and his heart toward me. And with a lot of the resources I have come across in my own emotional healing journey and what I share with others is so much based on compassion and unconditional love, meeting you in the midst of your pain, of your messiness. And I've noticed that for me, I think especially in a lot of church spheres, I can just feel like the sadness or just like this tension rise up inside of me, because I think sometimes we maybe subconsciously and well-meaning can perceive God, even in church spheres, as someone who is disapproving or hard to please, and someone that we have to be obedient for, someone that cares more about what we can do for him than us alone. And it's something that really means a lot to me, is to share with other people the heart of God that is slow and understanding and compassionate. And so I thought I'd do a little bit of that on this channel and model some of that, and do a little thing. And I think just come on here to share that, because I've seen a lot of people, a lot of Christians who are really having this internal wrestle and feeling like I'm letting God down, or I just keep sinning and I messed up again. And what's been impactful for me has not been perfection in my relationship with God, but it has been receiving his invitation to let his love in the midst of my shame, in the midst of me missing the mark, in the midst of me not being able to perform, that in those places too, I would let his love be with me and settle in deeper. And that has been, for me, just, that has been so life-changing. That's not something that you can lose at, as I've learned from Abby Stoneball, who's trained me. Like, God's love is not something that we can lose at. And so being mindful as well, like, especially because I've been trained in emotional healing work, I'm mindful that compassion and slowness may not feel safe to everybody at first, especially if you're not used to it. I mean, if you think about it, if you've been doing something or you're accustomed to a certain way of living for years of your life, it's going to take time to maybe be open to something different. And there can be a lot of protectors that are going on in our nervous system as well. And so being aware of that, this little exercise I'm going to lead here, it may not land fully for some people. It may make some people feel uncomfortable as well. And so if that is you, always feel free to take care of yourself and pivot. You don't need to finish listening to this. You don't need to feel like you're doing anything wrong if it doesn't land for you. A lot of emotional healing and healing, sometimes it happens in an instant and it's great and awesome and God does miracles, but a lot of healing and the way that our nervous system is wired is that change happens when we experience something different than we have in little moments, micro moments, time and time again, and this repetition of something safe and something new, a new pathway to safety that we're creating in our brain and body and nervous system. It creates a new pathway over time. And so please know that if this doesn't land for you, there's nothing wrong with you. And you have so much space and time to go on your journey and do what feels at the right pace for you and at the right, feels right for you. So I always like to name that, because I just don't want people to like try something like this and then be like, man, that like totally did not land for me, and like, is something wrong with me? And so I just thought that I would read this over whoever would like to listen. And because as I was feeling ashamed earlier today and wondering if I was missing the mark and feeling like I was kind of spiraling in my fear and just worry about if I was bad, I felt God's voice and heart toward me just be like, Jenny, I just want you to remember that my love is not something that you can lose at. And even if you missed the mark on something or you made a mistake, my invitation to you is just that, like, my love is available to you, that you would let me in, even in this place. And yeah, just like remembering that God's love is so available to me, and I wanted to share that with you all. So I'm going to be reading just a little excerpt, and if you want to imagine, if it feels safe for you to imagine this being said to you by God, then yeah, I would just love to read this over you. And also, of course. So here we go. Oh yeah, actually one other thing I wanted to mention, something that we like to do in what I've been trained in is emotional health life consulting. We like to put our hand over our heart when we're having something read over us of truth and love. And there's so much behind why we do that. One is because that just encourages some connection. And there's a lot of beliefs that happen on the subconscious level, or like underneath our conscious level. And that can be kind of in the heart space. And so when we do this, we're like speaking to that unconscious parts of our experience that, experiences that we've been through in the past or whatnot, that have formed some of our beliefs that maybe we're not worthy of love or whatever the situation is, and just speaking to those parts. And also, like studies have shown that when you're putting your hand over your heart, sometimes that you speak more honestly, and things like that. So if you would like to and feel comfortable with that, I would like to invite you to do that. If not, you don't have to. But I'm going to read these statements over you. So this is for the one who feels ashamed. Words of compassion from God. So if you can imagine just your name being said, like if you were to see God, and just have him say your name, and then say this: I see you. I want you to know that my love is not something you can lose at. All you have to do right now is let my love be with you in the midst, right in the place you're at. My love is available to you. You are worthy of being loved. I see how much you care. I see your heart. I know your story. I want to be with you here. I want to love you here. Yeah, so just wanted to share that with you all, and I hope to make more videos like this. So have a great day. And would you feel loved today?